Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen today. So in my reality, it is the beginning of December. In your reality, it's probably the middle of January. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about isn't really going to make a whole lot of sense. In my family, Réveillon is the big Christmas meal. And so this year I've been asked to bring a dessert. If you've ever been to a Réveillon, you know there's tons of food. Our family has scallops, oysters, lobsters. There are always steaks. There's always ribs, all kinds of food. Just so much food and a lot of different desserts. So I'm only going to make a small dessert so that everybody can just have a little taste of everything and there's not a ton left over. I'm going to try and play around today with the idea of making a 6-inch sweet potato cheesecake. So we start out with the crust. I have here some graham crackers. To that I'm adding sugar and melted butter. If you live somewhere that doesn't have graham crackers, use ginger snaps, use Maria biscuits, any sort of really crisp, dry cookie like that. And so I've got 16 2-inch by 2-inch graham crackers, about 100 grams. If you live in Canada, the box of no-name graham crackers, there's 2 sleeves inside. I've got half of 1 sleeve. And I've probably got too much crust for a 6-inch. Essentially what I've done is I've taken the 10-inch one that I normally make and halved it. So I'm going to have a little extra of some things, I think. So I'm going to put that much in to start with and tamp it down. I am going to need it all. There we go. All of it goes in. So I just use my fingers to tamp this out and bring it up the sides. I bring it up all around the sides. Use whatever method works for you, if that's the back of a glass or the back of a mug, whatever. I've got the oven preheated to 375. So this is going to go in and cook for 10 or 15 minutes just to firm up. So I guess it's the perfect opportunity for you to tell me what you and your family did over the Christmas holidays. Do you even celebrate Christmas? What did you do between December and January? What are your family traditions? Ours, obviously, Réveillon, Christmas Eve, and then Boxing Day. Julie and I are going to go to Quebec City to hang out there for a week and a half between Christmas and New Year's. So that's 2 blocks of cream cheese, 500 grams of cream cheese, and to that I'm adding white sugar and brown sugar. That's beaten together pretty nicely. So now I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of sour cream. Let's call that 1. Let's call that 2. I don't really like sour cream. Next I've got the sweet potato. So this is sweet potato that I've already baked and just scooped out of the sweet potato. I didn't mash it up because it was so soft when I pulled it out of the skin. I just threw it in an oven 425 for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And when I scooped it out, it was just so soft that I think that when I put it in here and mix it into the cream cheese, it's going to mix in really easily. And my plan is to almost over-mix it at this point. Make sure that the sweet potato is fully incorporated with the cream cheese. And now we'll crack the eggs in one at a time. I probably should have put all of these in when I put in the sugar. So put it in now anyway. Salt, cinnamon, cloves, and ginger. and let that mix in completely. You could totally 100% substitute pumpkin pie spice and just do a scoop of pumpkin pie spice. That would be totally fine. And now a little bit of vanilla. And we'll just let that mix together. Okay, the crust is baked. Now we're going to fill it with our cream cheese filling. And I might have too much filling. Ever so slightly too much filling. So I've got about a 1/4 cup too much filling. And that's one of the things when you're trying a new recipe and you're trying to figure things out. I kind of know what the proportions should be for each of the ingredients, but how to cut it down to fit here. So what I will do is when I write out the recipe, I will cut back a little bit. I will cut back on the cream cheese and a little bit on the sweet potato perhaps, but we'll wait until we taste it. Maybe I'll leave the sweet potato at the same level in order to keep that flavor, but cut back on the cream cheese a little bit. Let's pop it in the oven, we'll bake it, and when Julie gets home, we'll taste it and see what happens. Oven is preheated, and in the oven I have a roasting pan. Here comes our cheesecake, and I've wrapped the cheesecake pan in some tin foil to keep it dry. This is the extra, about a 1/4 cup. And to the roasting pan, I'm going to add water out of a boiling kettle. This now becomes a bain-marie. Hot water, the hot water regulates the temperature, keeps it from heating and cooling, because every oven, no matter how good your oven is, the temperature varies wildly. This will keep it a little bit more even. I'm going to let that go for about an hour and then come back and test it. Okay, so there's a crack in the top. I did everything that you're supposed to do. So if you're already typing telling me how to fix the crack in the top, don't bother. I don't care. I really don't care. If the crack in the top of a cheesecake is the thing that sets you off, that's your problem.
Apparently don't tell Glen.
It's not my problem because I don't care. There are other things to worry about.
Oh my goodness. Glen, deep breath, deep breath. It'll be okay.
I cooked it in the bain-marie. I cooked it till it was done. I turned the oven off. I let it cool slowly in the oven. And then I cracked the oven a little bit to let it cool even slower. It had already cracked. So here's another thing. A couple weeks ago, Julie and I ate at a Michelin-starred restaurant. A Michelin 2-star restaurant. We had cheesecake for dessert. It had a beautiful sour cream topping. It looked wonderful. But when I cut into it, you know what I saw? There was a crack in the cheesecake that they had hidden with a topping. So if a Michelin 2-star restaurant has a crack in their cheesecake, I feel wonderful about that.
Are you done?
I'm done.
You even have like hair sticking out of the side of your hat here, just, to emphasize how this is ripped.
So after 18 years of being on YouTube and making cheesecakes and having the same garbage piled on me every time, I'm tired of it.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
It's a perfectly good cake.
It's a great cheesecake.
Well, we don't know that it's great yet.
No. So I had about a 1/4 cup of filling left over.
I'm just having the filling.
So we're just going to eat the filling out of the bowl and save the cheesecake for later. Because you know what the crust tastes like. The crust tastes the same all the time because it's the same one I always make. Oh.
That's really nice.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Texture's amazing. The flavor's really good.
Mm-hmm. What spices do you have in there?
Ginger, cinnamon, clove. Mm-hmm. That's it. Ginger, cinnamon, and clove.
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely
it's wonderful.
Lovely. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely lovely.
Okay.
Okay, so now that we've eaten half of the bowl of filling, that's really nice.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the recipe for the 6-inch, and I need to cut down the filling by just about that much. I will cut back a little bit on both the cream cheese and the potato, the sweet potato, because I think the flavor profile of sweet potato is really nice there.
Yeah, it is.
So I'll cut both of them back to kind of keep the balance that we've got going on right here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Hopefully 2026 is great for you. We're looking forward to a great year ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.
You're just... Wow, Glenn, that was an impressive rant.
There are things that bother me, and that's one of them.
That's really good. I really, I did. That's mighty fine, Glenn.